Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Okay, today I am going to share with you a topic, a special topic on questionnaire. Okay, last 2 weeks we have done with our quantitative survey, and of course, quantitative survey deals with questionnaire. So today I will re-highlight, okay, the special part of quantitative survey, that is building up a questionnaire, okay. And some of the points that I'm going to share today, actually I have already shared with you in our previous class, but I will reshare because these are all the important points, and I want you to pay attention because in your research proposal that you will submit to me, okay, from chapter 1, 2, and 3, for those who will or for groups that have chosen their research will be a survey, so they have to build up, even though you are not going to conduct the survey, I mean, because your research proposal will stop at chapter 3, but still you have to build up the research instrument. So for the survey, the research instrument is a questionnaire, so it is very important, so I want you to pay attention. All right. Okay, so guidelines in writing questions in the questionnaire. So first we have to make questions very clear. Okay, we cannot attempt to write questions that are either vague or confusing to the respondents. Okay, so questions that we will make should be very clear, and then we have to keep the questions short, and we need to remember the purpose of the research. Okay, what are the research objectives? So all the questions must be related to our research objectives. And then we are not supposed to ask double barrel questions. Okay, I have already shared what is meant by double barrel questions. Okay, you can refer to the previous notes, but I will explain further after this. And then we have to also avoid biased or loaded words of terms, avoid leading questions, and then do not use questions that are for highly detailed information. Okay, so because this will make the students, the respondents really get confused. Okay, and then avoid potentially embarrassing questions. Okay, example of double barrel questions. Okay, this is just an example. How satisfied are you with your pay and your job condition? So there are two elements that you ask in this question. That is in terms of the pay as well as job condition. So this is what we call as double barrel questions. Okay. So the response that we'll expect from the respondents should be either very satisfied, satisfied, neutral, unsatisfied, or very unsatisfied. So this is based on 5 Likert scale. And then when we ask these questions, okay, we expect only one single response from the respondents, okay, but there are actually two separate issues. The first one is in terms of the pay or the salary, and the second one is in terms of job conditions. So this may lead to inaccurate responses because the respondent may answer with either satisfied, okay, while in reality the respondent is actually satisfied with the job condition but maybe not satisfied with the pay. Okay, so it will make them quite difficult to answer, to give the response, and end up we will get inaccurate responses. And then, okay, in terms of building up questions in the questionnaire, we also need to take a great care to avoid using leading questions and biased or loaded words when you design survey questions. So these two faulty sample survey designs can do more harm than any other possible hazards during the survey creation process. Okay, why? Because they can bias the respondents' views and hence their answer. So we won't get the accurate answer because we already provide to the respondents questions that are very biased. Okay, maybe we expect responses to be A, so we provide questions that is biased towards answering an A. Okay, so they can bias respondents' view to the point of making your data unusable. Okay, next is leading question. Bias respondents by subtly directing them toward particular answers. So these items usually provide judgments about ideas or concepts because the actual questions are asked or the wording of the questions may just be biased from the outset. So leading questions can make respondents feel as if there is an obviously correct response and that they would be foolish to answer otherwise. Okay. So leading question is like you have already you want some expectations, okay, in terms of the answers given by the respondent. So you provide questions that would make the respondents feel to answer as you wish, okay, and this is how you create these questions actually. Okay, macam mana you bina soalan-soalan itu, macam mana soalan itu tendensi dia ke arah memberi jawapan seperti ini. Okay, so this is what we call as leading questions. Okay, next one is biased or loaded words are those which carry overtones or connotations that predispose a survey respondent to think in a certain way. If researchers use overly strong words or positive, either positive or negative, or use labels with clearly judgmental implications, so this can bias respondents by priming them for certain mindset. Benda yang sama ya, leading questions, bias or loaded words adalah benda yang lebih kurang sama, yang mana you dah menyediakan soalan, bentuk soalan itu yang akan membawa respondents untuk menjawab certain jawapan yang you nak. Okay, so you dah membuatkan respondents itu bias towards certain answers, certain responses. Okay, so this is not this is improper because jawapan yang you dapat ataupun findings yang you dapat nanti bukanlah findings yang sebenar. It's not an accurate response. Okay. Okay. Now I want to give you example of leading questions. Okay. Most people feel that 10 ringgit is way too much money to pay for a simple chicken rice. Would you pay 10 ringgit for a chicken rice? Okay. So this is the example. And we can easily tell that the purpose of this question is to bias respondents into saying that they would not pay 10 ringgit for a chicken rice. Sebab you dah maklumkan kepada responden you sebelum itu, iaitu kebanyakan orang merasakan 10 ringgit adalah sangat mahal untuk membayar satu hidangan nasi ayam. Dan soalannya, adakah anda akan membayar RM10 untuk hidangan nasi ayam? Jadi, soalan ini akan membuatkan responden menjawab tidak kerana mereka sudah ada statement yang strong di atas itu yang mengatakan RM10 itu adalah sesuatu yang mahal. Okay? So, there is a clearly derogatory sentiment contained in the question itself, okay, which is a leading question. And with the inclusion of phrases such as most people feel, way too much, and simple chicken rice, respondents would have to be irrational fools to admit they might pony up the 10 ringgit. Okay. Okay. Now, questionnaire design. Okay. First, what you need to have in your questionnaire form. Okay, first is the introduction, the cover page with research information. So you need to have a simple or brief information about the research. Okay, this is in the introduction part, and then followed by the instruction, where for every section you have to give a very clear instruction how the respondent should attempt to each question. Okay, especially email survey or self-administered survey, because you are not available to assist a respondent to answer or to attempt to every question. So you must make sure that the instruction is very, very clear. So same goes to your project, even though you are not going to conduct the research itself, but I want to see that your questionnaire is following the right requirement, okay, of conducting a survey. Okay, if yes or if no option, where to go next? Some use arrows or line to guide respondent. Okay, so you need to use different typeface for instructions. Okay, question order, it must be numbered accordingly and normally easy question first and in logical sequence from general to specific. Okay, in terms of layout, the font size, okay, should be the ones that easy for the respondents to read and adequate space to write responses. If let's say you have the questionnaire printed out, okay, but uh, because for this particular class, for this particular subject, okay, you are not going to conduct the research, okay, so you are just going to give me only one copy of questionnaire, including together with your chapter 1, 2, and 3. So I want you to follow exactly what I have given here. Okay, box or circle to tick, use booklet and not the loose sheet. Okay, data collection. Okay, this one is further up for those who conduct the actual research. Okay, but you are not going to conduct the research, but still you need to know, still you need to have the knowledge in terms of data collection, because in the future you might be able to carry out the research. We don't know, and furthermore, I'm going to test you in the following quizzes as well as mid-semester exam questions related to data collection as well as data analysis. So under data collection, we have first the pre-testing of the questionnaire. So every questionnaire that students or researchers build up, okay, they must first test on the validity and reliability of the questionnaire, and this what we call is pre-testing. So it must be done before actual data gathering. And why we need to conduct this? To check for consistency, timing, respondents' understanding of terms and variables. It is also to ensure the actual data can be obtained and at least 30 who are similar to sample and will not be counted as actual respondents, so that some statistical procedures can be conducted to analyze the data. Okay, benda ni mesti ada dalam you punya chapter 3. Okay, walaupun you tak conduct actual research. Okay, types of survey. Okay, what are the types of survey that we are going to have? Okay, you need to also explain in your chapter 3. Okay, types of survey that you are going to have, either mail survey. Mail survey means you post melalui postman. Okay, you hantar ke pejabat pos, then you masukkan dalam sampul surat. Okay, if you have like 120 respondents, for example, so you need to print out the questionnaire to 120 copies or 120 sets, and then you masukkan dalam 120 envelopes. Okay, and you kena ada nama dan alamat setiap responden. Dan you have to also provide sampul surat dan bersiap dengan alamat you, bersiap stamp semua untuk mereka postkan, kembalikan responses ataupun questionnaire tersebut yang telah dijawab kepada kita. Okay. So dalam chapter 3, if you conduct this kind of survey, you can explain satu persatu, okay, sehingga macam mana you akan buat the data analysis, okay, daripada you start build up the instrument, macam mana proses itu. So like I explained just now, so everything must be explained in chapter 3. Okay, so questionnaire sent to respondents together with stamped reply envelope. Okay, maknanya kena sediakan also sampul surat untuk mereka hantar kembali kepada kita. Okay, dah siap ada stamp, dah siap ada alamat kita. So when we need a lot of information without spending much time and money, okay, so mail survey is one of the options, okay. Tetapi zaman sekarang mail survey sudah tidak popular lagi. Masih ada kerana kelebihannya ialah soalan yang dibina itu boleh ditulis dengan panjang, lebih panjang berbanding Google Form, okay. So tetapi the most popular types of survey right now currently ialah melalui Google Form. Okay, and then mail survey ini advantage dia kita tak akan tahu, never know who actually answer, okay. Sebab apabila dipulangkan balik itu kita tak tahu siapa sebenarnya yang pulangkan. Tetapi low response rate sama, the same goes to Google Form, okay. Low response rate below 40%. Sebab tu kalau kita punya target samples kita 120 respondents, kalau kita nak gunakan mail survey ataupun email survey ataupun Google Form, okay, hantar melalui blastkan melalui social media, melalui WhatsApp contohnya, kita tak boleh hantar to specific respondents 120 respondents contohnya, sebab kita akan dapat very low response rate because not everyone would answer, okay. Tetapi kita kena expect, sebab tu kalau Google Form hari ini saya rasa it is one of the best method because kita boleh blastkan to anyone, to anywhere, dan hanya mereka yang willing untuk menjawab akan menjawab questionnaire tersebut, dan biasanya kita akan dapat expected responses from expected number of samples, okay. And then do follow-ups and must have cut-off date. Kita kena ada cut-off date. Okay, sila jawab soalan-soalan ini sebelum 10 Januari contohnya. And must have good cover letter. Okay, mesti very convincing. Okay, telephone survey. This one more control on response rate, okay, because kita yang call, kita dah buat appointment siap-siap, kita akan call dan kita akan beritahu you need to spend time about 30 minit contohnya untuk menjawab soalan-soalan survey. And then we need to get their consent and tell the purpose kenapa kita nak buat survey melalui panggilan telefon contohnya. And then kita yang kena bacakan soalan sebagaimana stated in the questionnaire, and we should not suggest any kinds of answers, okay? And we have to repeat questions if necessary. Make necessary callbacks and thanks the respondents after we've done. And the disadvantage is only respondents with phone. Sebabnya tak ramai yang akan sanggup untuk spend time mendengar soalan dan menjawab, okay, over the phone. Okay, personal interview survey, it's one-to-one or one-to-group. Make appointment in advance, okay. Researcher write down the responses, and then we can verify the responses, can be done at home or at work, and better written the questionnaires. But we will get better written of questionnaire because this is personal interview. But it's very time consuming and costly. So we cannot do it alone. We need to get help from what we call as enumerators ataupun research assistants. So we need to train enumerators. Okay, internet survey, we must have access to internet connection, okay, and we have different kinds of forms, okay, for the internet survey, and then we need to have the internet skills to facilitate responses. So selepas kita mendapat feedback daripada respondents tu, kita kena tahu how can we arrange, okay, the responses daripada internet tu, daripada Google Form tu contohnya, okay, untuk kita make it in a proper way. Alright, so we need to have a list of email addresses. Okay, ini kalau kita menghantar melalui email. Alright, and can include multimedia features in question. Okay, pentingnya untuk menghantar questionnaire melalui email instead of menggunakan WhatsApp. Kalau kita blastkan macam tu saja, okay, kita mungkin tidak mendapat respondents yang sebenar, okay. Macam di awal-awal kelas kita, if you still remember, okay, pemilihan respondents tu contohnya kita nak buat kajian a survey on IPTA, public university students. Okay, so kita nak buat survey on online classes yang melibatkan public university students only. So kalau kita blastkan dalam WhatsApp, okay, kemungkinan Google Form itu akan sampai ke pihak yang sebenarnya bukan public university students, okay, but they have to understand, okay, they don't have to answer, but they need to reblast, okay, bantu kita untuk mencapai the right respondents, okay. But if we use email, if we send email, kita dah tahu siapa yang public university students. So kita akan menghantar email kepada mereka sahaja, okay. But we need to have the list of email addresses. Okay, the disadvantage is who actually responds, okay. Sebab kita tak boleh nak convince mereka, tak boleh nak paksa mereka untuk menjawab. Okay, so those who are willing only will answer. And then we need to do also follow-ups and cut-off time kena ada. Okay, and possible to conduct analysis directly, because kalau dalam Google Form dia senang. Okay, dia senang untuk kita automatically after that terus boleh buat analysis. Okay. Okay, general problems of survey. Walaupun survey ini adalah antara yang paling popular in conducting research, but there are also problems. Okay, first, respondents cannot recall information, and second, respondents provide prestigious answer to question that they actually did not know how to answer. Okay. And then respondents purposely deceive researchers by giving incorrect answers. Pun ada ya. And then respondents give elaborate answers to simple questions. And a survey often complicated by the inability of respondents to explain their true feeling, perceptions or belief, because it is just a survey, okay, where respondents need to choose only in order to answer. Okay, so that's it for the questionnaire, and I hope that you can follow the guidelines that I have given to you, and you can finish your chapter 1, 2 and 3 together with the research instruments, either it be the questionnaire or the structured questions for in-depth interview ataupun coding sheet. Okay, so coding sheet you boleh cari dalam Google, banyak contoh-contoh coding sheet macam mana untuk you prepare coding sheet kalau you buat content analysis. Okay, so by that I end this class, this session with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And I hope students who are affected with the flood, please stay safe and be with your family members. All right, thank you.